Okay, welcome back everybody. I really don't have a new model to show you yet. I'm still up in the air about that. I got an idea what I want to do, but haven't got it yet. So what I'm basically going to show you in this is I've been talking about it for a few weeks that I was going to re-rig my Arizona. I mentioned that the rigging that I put on it was out of scale. Gotten a couple comments on that. So I'm going to show you, I ripped off all the old rigging on the ship and redid it with that easy line string. I was using the fine, okay? That's what I did the Arizona with, and I'll show you that when I get to it. Alright, before we get started though, I want to talk a little bit about shop safety, okay? I get quite a few comments from guys, and they're talking about building their models, and I don't know what brings it up, but they're talking about super glue, that they use super glue on their models. And one of the last comments I got a couple weeks ago, a guy talked about, well, he'd been using it for 15 years with no problems. He's, you know, it holds great, everything, this and that. But you know, what I'm about to tell you, don't take my word for it. Get on the internet and look up the dangers of CA glue or super glue or whatever, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, you don't have to panic and run out there and throw all your super glue away. This is just my opinion. This is what I've come to conclusion and the results I've come up with and why I'm doing what I'm doing. But yeah, this CA glue is, from what I've been finding out, pretty nasty stuff, okay? It's at the top of the list there. Yeah, I got a bottle of lacquer thinner sitting on my desk, but I'm not using that every day. I've also got, you know, some of this Tamiya glue, okay, that I use. This is what I prefer, okay? That puts off a pretty good fumes, okay? But from what I've been reading about this super glue and the CA glue, now this is pretty much the one I use. There's a couple different levels of it. This I believe is in the middle, but this is pretty much what I use. But the fumes that it puts off are very toxic to your lungs and, from what I've been hearing, to your eyes. One very prominent shipbuilder has been having some problems with his eyes, and when I first got into this, I watched all his videos, and that was pretty much what he was using, was super glue on doing all his planking of his hull. It's a good idea, you know, you don't have to nail or put clamps on it, but now he's got problems. So what I'm trying to get at here is think safety first, you know. I know it might be a good product, but to me super glue is a everyday household go-to glue. You know, you break the handle on your teacup, you use super glue to put it back on. Your wife breaks her fingernail, you use super glue, can put it back on. But to sit here and use it and sit with it constantly, day after day, building a model, it's not good for you. And two, you know, this stuff here, like this Tamiya and this testers, I still use this stuff. This stuff has been specifically formulated for plastic, okay? You take super glue and you glue two pieces together and it sticks together, okay? You take this Tamiya plastic cement and you glue two pieces together and it bonds it together, it welds it together, okay? It's almost impossible to get it apart without breaking something, okay? It more or less almost like melts that plastic, and if you hold two pieces together, it will actually put like a little weld seam there. So, you know, I stay away from that super glue. I was using it at first on my wooden ship, and then I got tired of gluing my fingers together and then getting the glue all over the ship, and then you got to sand that off. And if you're doing it on a plastic ship and you touch that, Now you got to sand it off of there. So I pretty much got away from it. For photo etch, I started using it on my photo etch, and once again, you know, it doesn't give you the opportunity to move your part around, especially with photo etch. It's so tough to get that on there, and once you hit it with that super glue, it's there. But I've been using this canopy glue on my photo etch with good results. Okay, gives you a few seconds to move your part around and get it set. So that's all I got to say about that. You know, like I said, I got a couple different types of Tamiya. That's a little bit thicker, the orange lid, and then the green one. These are the two I basically use if I'm building a plastic model. Now I know that if you're building a resin model, I think they suggest that you got to use super glue for that. But you know, if you're going to use this stuff, do yourself a favor. Buy yourself a little small fan and put it on your desk and blow them fumes away from you, okay? And if you're really using it a lot, get yourself a respirator, okay? That's how bad this stuff is. Like I said, if you don't believe me, just look it up on the internet. But at least get yourself a fan and put it on your desk to keep them fumes away from you, and open up a window to vent it, all right? But like I said, a lot of guys will say, I don't know what I'm talking about. I've been using this stuff for years with no problems. Great. You're one of the lucky ones. I painted cars years ago. I didn't use a respirator. Now here it is 35 years later, and I'm probably 2 steps away from emphysema, you know. Plus smoking doesn't do me any good. You know, here I am trying to tell you guys be safe with breathing that stuff, and I smoke cigarettes. So just be careful with the stuff. That's all I got to say. You know, there's other stuff out there that is better than that, and it's not quite as bad as that. And pretty much that's all I got to say about it, you know. So if you ever see, you write me a comment saying, well, good, okay, go ahead. You know, it's your lungs. All right. So let's get on to the Arizona. Enough talk about shop, safety. Let me get on to the Arizona here and show you what I did. Okay, so here we are with the Arizona. I don't know if if you watch my build on this, you can see a big difference between this string that I put on, this Easy Line, and the string I had used on it before. It made a big difference for me. It wasn't much trouble. You know, if you notice, I don't have a lot of rigging on here. So it wasn't a big deal in trying to get off the stuff I had on there. I had used super glue on that string that I had on there, and it came off pretty easy. It really did. Didn't have much problems at all. So, and then I went ahead and re-rigged it. Because I had gotten quite a few comments on 2 things. My string was out of scale, my rigging, and this boot. Well, now there's nothing I'm going to do about that. I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm not going to touch it. You know, if it looks a little bit too big, so be it. But at least I could do something about the rigging, and it made a big difference. Let me zoom in a little bit here on it. There you are. As you can see, I did that little trick where I took some glue, Elmer's glue, white glue, whatever you want to call it, and a little bit of flat black paint, mixed it together, and put them little dabs on there to make it look like insulators or whatever you want to call them. I also redid the signal flag rigging. Okay, if it's showing up right in here. Okay, I took all the old stuff off, put that on there, and model looks much, much better. Really does. Wasn't that difficult. Didn't take much time at all. Next time I know, like I said, pay a little more attention to things being in scale. And that string I had on there before was just not in scale. All right. So she looks much, much better. But I've been talking about this for quite a while. I've known about it for about a year, and just finally now getting around to it. So that just goes to show you, you can build a model and a year later, 2 years later, come back and redo something on it, Okay? So, yep, that's my Arizona. There you go. Like I said, I didn't do a whole lot of rigging on it. I didn't go overboard. I kept it to the minimum. And she looks much better that way. I noticed before I could be standing on the other side of the room and the rigging I had on there stuck out like a sore thumb. Now I can stand on the other side of the room. I can barely see this. You have to walk up on it to see it. Looks much better. All right, that's it for my Arizona. Okay, so there was my Arizona. Work on that only took about a half a day. Wasn't much to get that old string off there and redo the easy line. One thing I forgot to mention was I was using the fine. That right there, fine. See, it says it up there. I've got two sizes, fine and heavy, but that's the one I use. We're still looking for a house. I haven't had much luck there. I've got to get the wife out of town for a few days. So in the next couple days or week or so, we're taking off on a little 3 or 4 day vacation. Get out of here. She's upset. She's frustrated, just like I am, But yeah, I know. Sooner or later, the right house will show up. It's just that it's getting to be a pain in the ass. And now we just got a letter from the apartment complex here. This is a gated community. This is a really, really nice place. I mean, I've got close to 1,400 square feet in this apartment. I mean, we've been looking at houses smaller than this apartment. But just got a letter from them, and then the wife was over there talking to them. Yeah, my lease is up in August, and they're going to jack us way up. It's going to cost us big bucks to live here. Probably going to jack me up $150, $200 a month, because we'll probably be going month to month on the lease. So anyway, enough of my problems again. It's becoming a soap opera. So I probably won't have a video up next week. I know this wasn't much of one. I did more complaining and giving a little safety speech than anything. But I wanted to get that Arizona out there to let you guys see that. I've been talking about that for quite a while. So yeah, we're probably going to be out of town, and I won't have a video up next week. But if everything goes as planned, when I get back, I probably will have some clips to show you. Not necessarily on vacation, but a special place I go every time we go down to this area. So, and that leads me to a video I want to put up of something else. I got an idea for my next model. I just haven't gotten around to ordering it. Like I said, a lot of builders run into this block where you just you got to walk away from it for a while. I haven't been doing it long enough to, I swear to God, if anybody's ever watched Frankie Day, I don't know how he does it. He's probably got a half a dozen models going right now at one time, and it's just boom, boom, boom. He's in that room working on them models. It must be every minute of his spare time. But I just it being, like I said, being summer, you want to do things with the grandkids. We're looking at houses, and other things going on. I just haven't had the interest in it like I really need. And I'm hoping that I order my next model and it will put me back in the mood. So I've got one figured out. I'm just got to get off my butt and go ahead and order it. And I think I'll probably do that when I get off of this video here. So thanks again for watching. It's been a treat. Like I said, I'm sorry for not having a lot to show you. I know that's what a lot of guys tune in for, is to see me build models. And you didn't see one this time. So, you know, just hang in there. Give me a break. You know, at least I'm still putting out something, you know. All right, and for all you guys that, you know, that do hang in there, I promise I've got something coming, you know. Hopefully I can get me a house where I got a nice area to work, where I don't have to put everything in the closet or on the shelf over there or on my desk. All right, I'm rambling on. I gotta go. All right, thanks again.